been a battle all night, and for many in this building, this feels like the end. But Leroy and Cerrone, they've been here before. Leroy lurking, eyes locked in, and he pulls it loose. He's got the steal with 5 seconds left. He looks up, finds Cerrone. Cerrone catches, steps into it. A 3 for the win. He hit it. Cerrone from downtown. Leroy to Cerrone. They have done it again. They've done it again.
All right, here we go. 98.5, the Sports Hub. My name is Leroy Irvin. He's Cerrone Battle. We got to let it scratch. Turn it up.
Once again, back is the incredible.
It feels good. For a short period of time, Cerrone, I thought summer was over. But it bounced back. It bounced back. It's kind of been like how we've been feeling about the Red Sox recently. You know, one minute they're hot, then all of a sudden it gets really, really cool with them, and then all of a sudden they're hot again. It's great stuff. Anyways, it's the Leroy and Cerrone show. Cerrone, it's one of those days, brother. I'm just going to tell you that right now.
Okay, what's going on, man?
You know what? God bless you. God bless you. Because you could feel it.
What did I do?
You didn't do anything. I just, shout outs to all the high school football players, the cheerleaders, the parents, the coaches, everyone involved. Before I came here, I dropped off my son Jordan at his high school. He has practice, a walkthrough, and then a scrimmage. But Cerrone, I'm struggling because, and you have kids. I know your sons, they play ball. Your daughter plays volleyball. I just really wish there was a way to give Jordan some wisdom and some knowledge and some encouragement that absolutely sticks. Like,
okay,
it's hard to explain. You know how it is. Like, once you get older, you realize a lot of things about your youth, and you're like, man, I shouldn't have been sweating that, or, things will happen in due time and all that good stuff. And I try to impart that into him because he's frustrated right now with some things with football.
Mm-hmm.
And as a father, I can't lie, man. It hurts that getting the message through to him is easy, but making it stick and become a part of his being and become a part of his everyday life, I'm not in control of that. It's up to him. I just wish I could, man. I hate seeing my son struggle when it comes to sports. And I get it, because I told him, I said, listen, you got to use sports as a metaphor for life, as an example for life. There are going to be ups and downs, peaks and valleys, highs and lows. You got to learn how to deal with it. But after I dropped him off, I can't lie, I was feeling kind of beat up, man. Like, man, could I be doing a better job? Was there a better way to encourage him? I don't know. I guess I'm searching, man. I'm looking for answers. What do you do?
I don't know if there is a right answer. I think they're at the point now. He's going to senior year, right?
Yeah, senior.
This is I wouldn't say the figure it out part, but this is you've been trying to tell him and teach him to do the right things from kindergarten all the way up to where he is now. And now it's like, well, you hope he takes those lessons you've taught him and puts it to action. And you can only tell him but so much, and he has to sometimes figure things out. There's no right answer. But I think you being there to give him some direction is key. We've had those conversations where it's like, man, when I was 18, I wish I had somebody just to say this or that instead of just figuring it out on your own. But I think you're doing a good job by just giving him some kind of wisdom. And the rest of it, he has to figure out and understand and kind of grow day by day as he goes through. This is his first. They didn't even start class yet. He ain't even gone to class yet as a senior. So his first introduction to senior year is football. So it's hard, man. It's hard. But he'll figure it out. He'll grow from it. And when something else pops up again, he'll be ready to handle it.
To the day I die, Cerrone, they're always going to be in my mind those little kids that I had to hold their hands.
Oh, yeah.
I can't front. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. But I struggle with moving on from that. I know he is a teenager. He's about to be a young adult. But, man. But I did tell him some of what you said, like what you just said. I told him, I said, listen, I can't talk for you.
Mm-hmm.
You got to learn how to speak.
You got to learn how to, yeah.
I said before he got out the car, I said, listen, you're going to have to get tired of being frustrated and cause you to speak up and ask questions and look for guidance when you're questioning things. I can't do it.
Yep. Yeah, it's you can't go but so far. I mean, we talked about it last week. Last time we was on. Look, man, I got two in college. Had to drop one off. Like, all right, last week. You can only tell him so much. As soon as you leave the room, it's like he on his own. He you hope he makes the right decisions. It's going to be hard times, and you just tell him to keep the main thing, and pray things work out in your favor. But I wouldn't say let him go completely, but there's some things you have to watch from the sidelines, and sports is one of them.
Anyway, sorry for the heaviness.
No, everybody can relate to that. Yeah. Everybody. Doesn't matter how old the child is, daughter, son, multiple kids. It doesn't matter. Everybody can relate to those situations, man. You weren't the only one that took their kid to practice for football the last few weeks.
I'll be going there right after, too. Hopefully I can catch some of the scrimmage. But anyways, welcome once again, Leroy Irvin, Cerrone Battle. The number is 617-779-0985. We've got a lot to talk about. Obviously, real football is pretty much here. We got college football going on right now. We'll get into so much more. Also, the Red Sox, just got to take on that, a few things. And, of course, you. Once again, the number is 617-779-0985. Get some things off of your chest, off of your mind if you want to. But before we do that, we got to introduce the music of the day. Now, it's very simple. There's on social media, there's this thing where there's a song being played. Follow me, follow me. I said, you know what? We going house music.
Oh, no, you didn't.
And just dance. Anything dancing music. And for the record, if you don't know, I work down the hall Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. with Ramiro, Pebbles, Melissa, and Leroy. Pebbles, the legend, when she found out that we was doing house, Cerrone, she almost lost her mind. She said, coming up, the clubs, they would be in there sweating their hair out. The floor would be wet from sweat. So enjoy, people. 617-779-0985. Let's do this real quick because we only got 3 minutes before we got to take a break. But the Red Sox, they're actually playing the Yankees right now. I believe they're up.
Yeah, 4-0 right now.
Oh, they added 2 more runs?
They added 2 more. It's 4-love right about now.
Well, they officially won 2. The first 2 games in this 4-game series versus the Yankees. Roman Anthony, I mean, his 2-run home run in game 1 was epic. Big time. Right? I'm going to say this. Speaking as a casual fan, and I don't say that with a smile on my face. Part of the reason why I am a casual fan, and this is something that has been talked about quite a bit, is because of access. There's too much switching back and forth. I get it. I don't have a problem with it. It is what it is. As a matter of fact, I think forget our demo and the older demo. It's kind of a bad look for the young demo, too, because they're not even watching to begin with. And if they just so happen to get interested in baseball, they got to jump all over the place. But that's beyond the point. I think Roman Anthony is the Neo to the Red Sox matrix. It feels like, Cerrone, and correct me if I'm wrong, and Red Sox fans, you can definitely let us know how you feel. But it feels like Roman Anthony could be the one. And he could be one of those athletes that Boston will sing, fables about, stories about forever. And I know he's young. I know he's just getting started.
Yeah.
But Cerrone, I haven't seen this type of energy and passion connected to a player so early in his career. If you just go on social media, I mean, there are grown men crying and screaming that they love him. And it's just not, that's not typical. So I just wanted to know what needs to happen in his career to become not only a great player, but be a beloved Boston sports legend. It feels like the Red Sox got one with Roman Anthony, especially when it comes to the potential of being that.
Well, we're going to get on it a little deeper on the other side because we got to grab a break real quick. But I think he's already heading on that path. I think he has to be the dominant player on the field and off. I think one thing that stood out from just keeping it with the Red Sox, other superstars from the Red Sox that were loved. You can go back that Ortiz is probably one of the most recent. Mookie Betts was just flat out talent. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But to be the loved guy like Ortiz, for one, winning, coming up big in big matchups, doing what he did against the Yankees. That home run's not the same if it's Baltimore. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It doesn't hit the same. Doing what he did against the Yankees, showing up on prime time, building a playoff resume. Not saying win the World Series, but have those major October moments. You know what I'm saying? He got to have his signature moments. And look, he wins a World Series with this team. He's already up there. He's up there in the top of the hemisphere with the rest of the elites. But I think being an all-star, step one, being a fan favorite on and off the field, and just being relevant in big moments in big games once you hit October. He does all those things. He's going to be a star. And as time goes on, his look, because what's going to happen now that this plays a huge part of it. He's clean cut, but you can tell he has something about him. He's like Austin Powers. Like there's something cool about him.
Yeah.
Once he starts getting on the cover of the magazines and in the Nike commercials and he grows out the beard and all that stuff, he's going to be the man. And same thing with Drake May. Drake May still has that Southern, young man thing about him. It's like once he starts acting like he's in Boston, it's on. And I think that's what happened with Tom Brady. Yeah. I think that's what's going to happen with Roman Anthony. But being an all-star, being consistent, and making his mark in October is the first thing he can do right now to set him on that trajectory.
Right. And to be clear, we're not saying he's there or he's even close.
Oh, he's on his way.
But like around Thanksgiving time, my fiance, she makes a mean collard greens. But in order to get there, she's got to go and collect the ingredients. All I'm saying is that Roman Anthony seems to have the ingredients to become one of those type of players, athletes, personalities that Boston will love for a long, long time. He's got a long way to go. He got to simmer. He got to cook. But we're going to see.
You don't microwave this process for him and mess it up.
Right. Let's take a quick break. I do not understand why the phones are going the way they are, but they are. 617-779-0985. We will find out what people want to talk about already. It is what it is. Thanks for tuning in. It's 985 The Sports Hub.
Look what we got.
More. Taking your calls, giving hot takes. Leroy Irvin and Cerrone battle on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Blessed with the opportunity to get on air here at 98.5 The Sports Hub. If you don't mind. What's wrong? I'm sorry, Cerrone. You back there dancing?
Man, my shoulder got a mind of his own.
Hey. Listen.
Man, y'all
George,
don't know nothing about the 90s, man.
Hey. You hear the vibrato?
Singers don't even have that no more.
What the heck happened to vibrato?
I was telling my lady about this. Just music going downhill and stuff. I never thought we'd live in a world where maybe even salsa music, very popular in Rican culture, hip hop. You know, I don't know about nowadays. We kind of going back and fishing for the olden people.
What happened to falsetto? Ooh, baby.
It were people. I'm not even talking about people with record deals. Like people you knew that would be disrespected if you called them an alto and they were a soprano. Like that was ultimate disrespect. Like, how dare you?
What happened to three-part harmony?
Three-part harmony.
What's that old school song? It was way before our time. But it was like, I don't know if it was a man or a woman, but the falsetto was serious.
Oh, man, all them songs back then.
Bring it back. Anyways, let's get to sports. 617-779-0985. George, if you would, hit line 1 for me, please, because my screen is frozen. What's up, Will? Oh, and he drops. Oh, something might be wrong with the phone. Will?
We'll see. Call back, Will.
Call on back. Let's go to line 2. Nick in Walpole. Nick.
Hey, fellas, what's up?
What's going on?
Do you know who the last Patriots first-round draft pick to get a second contract? Do you know who that was?
Oh, God, that's yeah.
Man, that's some trivia. That's Jeopardy.
Is this Alex Trebek, the late great?
I'm just asking. I believe it was Dante Hightower.
Yeah,
the
long time ago.
The rot within this organization in identifying talent goes very deep. And the one year that Bill was not here to do it might have been one of our worst years yet, which was just last year. All you had to do was take quarterback, which you did. So I'm not even sure how much credit I can give the Patriots for taking Drake May because it was so obvious you needed a quarterback. And everyone else was nobodies, including Jalen Polk, who's now done for the year. So our drafting and identifying talent at the collegiate level, obviously it has to improve if this team wants to go anywhere. So I'll hang up and listen. Thanks.
Appreciate it. You also can't let Belichick off the hook, though. I know he did a decent job. Good job. You got to say good job. No, decent job. I take that back. But his last few runs at it, come on now. Let's not act like he did a phenomenal job or anything like that. And I know it's extremely early. Cerrone, how do you feel about this year's draft entering in? I feel like
we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know, but it feels like maybe they did a pretty decent job.
It does. It looks that way, but I think they kept it very simple. And that was, similar to the situation with Drake May. Well, you know what, though? I'm going to go back to last year, what he said. He said, well, it was easy. Just take Drake May was there. You just take him. That wasn't a hard decision. Up until that day, it was very hard. There was debates going on for months in this region about should you take Marvin Harrison Jr.?
Yep.
Should you trade the pick? Should you move up to get Jaden Daniels?
Yep.
Should it be Michael Penix? Should it be Bo Nix? Should it be Rome Odunze? It was conversations about the receiver, left tackle, trade the pick. You're going to tank anyway. Get out of the pick a quarterback. Pick a quarterback this year was one of the top 3 options that people were saying. And I had this, we talk about this all the time with the one with Alex. People were all over the place. Picking Drake May wasn't the unanimous decision by the fans, the public, or anybody. It might have been by the Patriots front office, whatever. They might have just said, we're going to take the quarterback. But the discussion was always receiver, Marvin Harrison, left tackle, trade the pick, all those things. So it wasn't that easy just to get Drake May. And you wasn't sure if Drake May was going to be a complete bust in the first place, too. Then it was, should we even play Drake May? That was another part of it. But they got the quarterback. You give them that out of that draft. Okay, you got something. Several of these drafts, you got nothing from these drafts, nothing that's worth holding on to. You got a situation where I was kind of high on dude a couple years ago in Keon White. Now we're sitting here like, is this dude going to get burned?
Right.
He out there in the last preseason game, late in the game, and still didn't even make an impact. And it's like, wait a minute now, you got to question where he's at. So that's another draft pick that might not be what we thought he was going to be. I had high hopes for him. I was big on him. But as far as this year's draft, look, yeah, it was, should we take Will Campbell, the arm length, and all these other things? Should it be a receiver? Should we move it? People still aren't really happy about the first round pick, but you needed the left tackle. You got one from one of the top programs in the country in the toughest conference. Bam. You go. Everybody wasn't unanimous about taking running backs. You got one from a national championship team in one of the toughest conferences that played one of the toughest schedules in the nation, Ohio State. So those two's like, man, it's amazing. Those guys, yes, you got one from Ohio State and one from LSU. That's what tends to happen when you picking talent. And then you go down the line. We still don't know about Williams and some of the other players that were drafted. But right now, you can sit there and say, yeah, Wilson's another one. Where'd Wilson come from? Another SEC program, saying dominant guy in a dominant conference. Those guys are going to look better because they're the best of the best of college players. Where I think Belichick and some of these other guys got in trouble over the years, Bill was trying to find the guy hidden in the small school that nobody else saw. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go get this kid from MIT and make him my tight end. It's like, and if you don't go get the Notre Dame, Ohio State, or Penn State kid and make it easy on yourself, and I think that's where he got caught up with it. But like the call said, the Hightower was the last one to get a second contract. Where was he? Bama. It was easy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, we wanted him to be shopping on Newberry Street, and he was shopping at Family Dollar. Like back in the day, back at Morgan Memorial. Right. But the Morgies. But I had to take you back a little bit with that one. Uh-huh. But yes, we mentioned this. Go get the top shelf guys, the easy can't miss guys. But where are the All-Americans? Where are the Heisman candidates? You get the more of those guys you get, the more chance you have at having a good draft. And I think with this year, you got the left tackle, Ohio State. You got Wilson coming from the SEC as well. Then you go get the Ohio State running back, and Kyle Williams had the elite physical traits to be picked where he was picked. And it's like, now they still got the guy that came out of nowhere in Efton Chisholm. And it's like, yeah, but if that dude was at one of these other schools, he'd be dominant. But that's the one guy they went and grabbed, took a chance on, and he looks like he's going to be a player. But as of now, the draft looks promising. But we don't know once they get into that grind of the season, attitudes, playing time, not understanding the playbook, all those things are going to come into play. Adversity. Then we'll find out who's who. Adversity? Yeah. We don't know if we know the Ohio State running back can play in the weather. Will Campbell ain't seen cold in his life. What happens after Thanksgiving and he goes out there, you got to play at Buffalo or something like that, and it's 12 degrees out, and you say, oh, you got to stand there and hold up in these conditions. We don't know. That's the other thing about taking some of these guys and playing in New England. You don't know how they're going to react to certain things. We don't know how they're going to react being away from what they're used to. So as of now, the draft looks promising, but time will really tell with this team, and you won't really know after 1 year either. That's right. 617-779-0985 is the number. All right, so Will called us back. Will, hold on. We're going to talk to you. Susan's on the phone from Waltham. She wants.
You're listening to Leroy. Cerrone on the Sports Hub.
Yep.
Emmitt Smith at the same time.
Michael Jackson, Prince.
Michael Jackson and Prince on the radio.
Whitney,
Mariah.
Luther.
And then you go watch Terminator 2 and Saving Private Ryan. Like, we peaked. It was nothing.
Boxing was still good.
Boxing, you had Mike Tyson coming out. Roy Jones. Trinidad, Oscar De. There was so many. There was so many legendary boxers. Everybody had their own favorite at the same time. What a time.
What a time. Speaking of having a time, let's go to Will in the car. Will, thanks for calling back, and I hope you're having a time. Where are you right now?
I wish I was still in your old hood. I'm back in Wellesley. But, yeah, great job, guys. Love the fresh perspective.
Appreciate it.
Local guys. Love to kick some of these old fogies from out of town off the air.
Oh, God.
But, yeah, so this morning I was going to pick up off of Blue Hill. Look to my left. I see a young college-age person. I'm like, oh, walk of shame. She forgot her pants. Go to the next block. Older woman. Oh, geez, I've never seen any working girls here. No pants as well. So I keep going more and more and more. Long and behold, it's the Caribbean Day Festival.
That's right.
Or parade.
That's
where
right.
Obviously, boys become men.
Oh,
so we'd love to hear your guys' experience and why I've never heard of it and why it's not a bigger and
Oh, Will.
Come to the right place.
Oh, boy. I will just say this. There are some tapes out there that I hope if they ever surface that they get burnt to a crisp. If you're not familiar, the last Saturday of August for years, I don't know how many years it's been, Cerrone.
Probably before we were born, probably going back to the 70s.
Yeah. Now, I will say this. The Caribbean Festival isn't the same as what it used to be.
Yeah.
But it still goes down. And, yeah. I lived right off of Blue Hill Ave, so it was you just walk down the street, and I'm just gonna say I would post up.
That's all you would do?
I will not admit if I participated, if I was in the middle of the street, dancing and getting behind a truck. Remember that, Cerrone, getting behind a truck with some good music and speakers?
I was just about to say I never was a part of it with the costumes and all that stuff. I would post up. Start off posting up, and you would let some of what they would do, all the parade stuff with the kids and all that stuff would go first. So you will watch all the kids, the costumes, and the people with all the pageantry a part of it, representing their countries would come through. What it is, it's all the Caribbean nations would come together and have a parade. And it will go up, was it Warren, all the way up Blue Hill Avenue, and go and finish in Franklin Park. And from all the Caribbean cultures from all over, basically New England, would all come to this event. It'd be, at one point, it looked like there was legit 1 million people out there back in the day.
I think so.
Easily. All you saw was a sea of people and people representing their flags. And you would watch the other stuff go by, and then the fun stuff would come. Here come the sound, the trucks with the speakers and all that. And you would pick, okay, am I going to go behind this truck or that truck? Who's the loudest? Who looks like they're having the most fun? And 1 year, Leroy, 1 year, I got behind Bayesian truck and walked it all the way up. Sea of people, you couldn't move. They were throwing water and all. It was mad fun. And got to Grove Hall, and this girl hit me dead in the face with a bag of glitter. Wow, busted open, bag of glitter on my face. So now I'm in there, and I got glitter all over my face. So they're thinking I'm a part. Yeah, man, look, it was good times. But now I'm at my age. I just post up and watch.
Yeah.
But he's right. When you were young, 17, 18 years old, you knew to go there because that's where everybody was going to be. And it was always a great party, too, afterwards. Somebody was having a cookout or something that night. And, yeah, it was good times, man. I haven't been in a few years, but good times.
I actually was there this morning because I was looking.
Really?
I was looking for Jordan before
he was there
before I took him to practice. No, it's a long story. His bus that takes him out there, the school bus that takes him out there, picks him up from Franklin Park, and I didn't. Excuse me. I don't think he knew about the carnival.
He want to go to practice today.
Nah. So it's a long story, but anyways, I was there for a second, and Yeah, it is what it is. Good times, man.
Real
Really
good times.
Just for the record, you know that sound, that horn sound that is used throughout the world. Yeah. Just understand that originated from the Caribbean culture. That's where it comes from. And now it's gone universal and everybody uses it. Anyways, let's get back to the Pats. Susan in Waltham. What's up, Susan?
Hey, guys. Just want to say, first of all, how much I love your show. In fact, I think I'm going to send notice to your management. They should swap you guys for that 2 o'clock show weekdays. Their ratings would surge if they could get rid of that Felger, because all he does is talk about his Nantucket house. Anyway.
Yes, please. Move on, please.
What the question I wanted to ask you guys is, what you think after watching that game the other night? Mm-hmm. Is there any chance that this team, Patriots, are going to really win more than four games this year with that O-line?
Appreciate it, Susan, and I'm so glad you asked. And guess what? We will talk about that next on the other side. It's 9:05.
We had to take a break, y'all.
The Sports Hub. I'm Leroy Irvin. He's Cerrone Battle. On the other side, we're going to get it. You know what? Tell a friend to tune in now.
Stay tuned for more from Now, Leroy Irvin and Cerrone battle on Boston's home for sports. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
People suddenly expect that this team is going to go from 8 total wins in the last 2 years to at least 8 in this year alone. And I'm starting to wonder, Vince, are we putting the cart ahead of the horse with the expectations?
No, I don't think so. I feel just like them. I mean, I think with, Vrabel coming back and with his roots, you have to understand what he brings to the table. He's done it before in Tennessee when he left Houston and became the head coach of Tennessee. All he had was Henry, and he ran the ball, and they got to the SC championship. And he put that organization together, and I could see the same thing here. I think he's going to come in, he's going to put us back together. Now I'm not saying we're going to go win the Super Bowl first year, but I definitely do think we will have 7, 8 win, 9, 10 win. I think we're going to shock a lot of people this year.
Susan called in before we went to break, and she was pretty much just trying to figure out, hey, listen, the offensive line, the team basically doesn't look that much better in talent, or maybe she said that, maybe she didn't, but she was asking the question, like, just what do you see happening with this team? Vince Wilfork, he said anywhere between 7 to 10 wins. He's not saying the Super Bowl, but that they will improve from being a 4-win team. Cerrone, just in general, if you can break down the Pats season, your predictions and expectations for this team.
I see them in the middle of what he just said, 8 to 10 wins. And I don't think going from 4 to 8 wins is that big of a deal, that hard. It's the NFL. It happens every year. Every year there's 4 or 5 teams that you predicted to be the worst in the league. And they always find a way to win enough games to have a chance to get in. Last year, Washington was a 4-win team. They were 12-5 last year, and the only change was quarterback. I mean, some pieces, small pieces here or there, but Washington went from being terrible for the last 20 years to being a 12-win team overnight. It doesn't take much. Detroit was bad most of our natural lives. Dan Campbell comes in, 3-win season, whatever. They couldn't even beat Bailey Zappi. A year later, this team is one of the most explosive offenses in the league, and everybody wants their coaching staff and a piece of their players. We got one of their guys from the defensive side. The Bears got the offensive coordinator guy that we all wanted as well. So it doesn't take much. In 1 year, you can go from being at the bottom to being a team that everybody wants to pick apart, pick pieces from. And not saying the Patriots are going to go be with Washington, Detroit, which were basically Super Bowl contenders. I don't see that. But the schedule is easy. They don't play the gauntlet of elite quarterbacks like they did the last few years. And they have improved, especially defensively. Offensively, there's question marks. Can this guy do this or that? Carlton Davis can play. Milton Williams can play. When Christian Barmore was healthy, he wasn't there last year. What he can do when he's healthy. That's two guys in the middle of that defense will allow you to not let the Jacksonville Jaguars run 17 times in a row up the middle because you have Milton Williams and Barmore out there healthy. Peppers, healthy. He wasn't there last year. Well, he was healthy, but he had his issues going on. Mm-hmm. But you have pieces that weren't there last year that are back now. You've added pieces, like Milton Williams, Carlton Davis to that defense. Now your secondary is solid. You're good defensively. Defensive-minded head coach. You got better coaching staffs over there, and you have an easier schedule. You open up against the Raiders team that was as bad as you last year. And the only change is Geno Smith. Yeah, they got Max Crosby. Yeah, they had Brock Bowers a tight end. And they were still a 4-win team. They were terrible. Offensively, you cannot tell me Stephon Diggs is not better than whatever you had here since Edelman left. A healthy Edelman left town. They're better on that side of the ball. Ramondre Stevenson and Gibson, those are the only 2 options at running back. There was no Travion Henderson out there to be a third down guy. The offensive line has been completely revamped. We don't know, but I do know this. The first 2 preseason games, when the key guys were playing the most, they allowed one sack in 65 pass attempts in their first 2 preseason games. There wasn't any holding calls. They weren't lining up wrong. They weren't doing all those things we saw from them in the last few years. Yeah, the practices might have been up and down, but the actual in-game action of the offensive line was solid. Drake May got touched 1 time. Dobbs didn't get touched at all in the first 2 preseason games. Offensive line and those first 2 preseason games, you ran for 260 yards or something like that. So the offensive line has improved. Now, improvement for this team is going from being 30th in everything across the board to being 20, 18.
Mm-hmm.
That's an improvement. You're not going to go from 30 to 1 to top 5 in everything. Defensively, you could be a top 5 defense. I can see that. Schedule, talent, all those things. But you play the Saints, who don't have a quarterback. You play the Browns, who got 5 quarterbacks, which means they don't have 1. You play the Titans with a rookie quarterback. You play the Jets, who, they got a quarterback, but they ain't got a quarterback. You get to see them twice. Look at God. Right there. If you just beat those teams, you won more games than you did the last 2 years.
Cerrone, you were on, I believe it was with Alex Barth, and you made a point that I thought was phenomenal. You were talking about the margin, the point margin of last season.
Oh, yeah.
And how that could shift this season. Can you explain a little bit more?
Yeah, go back and look at last season. They were a 4-win team. Some of you got mad that they even won 4 games. You imagine, why'd they win? So what else was you going to get? Will Campbell? That's all you would get either way. They were a 4-win team. They lost. Okay, the first day they beat the Bengals, right?
Mm-hmm.
They lost to Seattle in overtime after a field goal was blocked. They had a chance to beat Seattle in week 2, lost that in overtime on a field goal that would have won it. Then they ended up going overtime and losing the game. You lost to the Dolphins because Jalen Polk didn't get his toe down, the heel down. That's a game of inches. That's another W a better team would have easily won. You lost to the Colts when you allowed like 4 fourth downs converted by Anthony Richardson late in that game. You blew that lead against a bad Colts team, a game that came down to the wire. You lost to the Titans in overtime, a game that came down to the wire. Drake May throws the interception in overtime after making a spectacular play to send it in overtime in the first place. That's another game you had. They had several games. The Rams game, you had it. You right there. Lose it in late in the game with a late interception. They had several games that were down to a possession that would have moved them from a 4-win team to an 8-win team easily. Part of those was lack of talent, and the other part was I'm not sure they wanted to even win those games. You see what I'm saying? If everybody was playing for draft position, I don't know if they wanted to win them. My whole point is, in the NFL, the difference between winning and losing is usually one drive. The difference between Detroit and a bad team is one drive, probably one in the first half, maybe 2, one in the second half. That's the difference between being a good team and a bad team. Kansas City Chiefs last year, they probably was an 8-win team, but they found a way to win every game on the last drive or the last play. They found a way to make that play or have that key drive that made them look like this dominant 11, 12-win team. And the reality was they weren't. It was so bad that everybody just assumed they were just cheating. Where we hear that before with the Patriots? Because they found a way without talent to always get that drive, or get that play. And they're cheating. The refs are helping them out. Brady's cheating. They're stealing plays because the game is always so close. And the difference between being bad and good is having Carlton Davis and Gonzalez at the corner instead of what you had last year. It's having Stephon Diggs on third down instead of Tyquan Thornton. It's literally that simple. Giving Drake May an extra half a second is the difference between a touchdown and a throwaway. Those are the margins where I think they improved the way this team can go. And the schedule is so much easier.
So what you're basically saying is the improvement in talent and coaching, let's just be honest.
Yeah, it's coaching. Making the right call at the right time.
Is enough that if they had that type of talent and coaching last season, they would have ultimately had more wins. And it should
put
make
it like
a difference this season.
If they had, I'm saying Henderson and Stephon Diggs last year with the same exact offensive line, they beat Seattle.
Yep.
That's 5. They probably beat the Rams in that game. They had the lead. They beat the Dolphins in that game where Polk doesn't get his heel down, but guess who will get them heels down? Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
That's another win right there you're going to get. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
These little things here or there. Anthony Richardson is not beating this defense. I'm sorry. If they had the defense they have now, Milton Williams, Christian Barmore's there, Carlton Davis, and Gonzalez, Anthony Richardson is not walking in Foxborough on that cold evening and winning that game. It's the difference. And that's the difference between being a 4-win team and an 8-win team, maybe 10 wins, where you're fighting to get in. I'm not saying this team is a Super Bowl contender or one of the elites of the elites, but the difference between being a bad team and a wild card team is single plays or drives in a game during the season that if you just had a little bit of talent on here or there, you would have won. The kicking game last year was a mess. Little things cost you in those games. And I think in the last 2 years, really, but I think this year they've done enough to where they can limit those simple mistakes of left tackle not lining up on the line. How many times they get burnt for that last year? You see what I'm saying? If little things like that improve, you're going to win the majority of your games. And I think this team is going to be sitting at 8 to 10 wins. Again, easier schedule makes it a lot easier.
All right, let's take
It's not just the games. It's Toucher and Hardy, Zolak and Bertrand, Felger and Maz, Joe Murray. For Boston sports fans, it's 98.5, the Sports Hub. Easily Media Group station. Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
All right, so the Red Sox over the Yankees yesterday, 1-0. They are currently playing each other in Game 3 of this 4-game series, and the Red Sox are up 5-1, top of the 7th inning. In the NFL, there are 10 games on deck today to wrap up the preseason. Final 53-man roster must be set by Tuesday, and the Pats cut over a dozen players yesterday, including 2023 first-round pick Sidy Sow. College football is back, baby, including a top 25 showdown between number 17 Kansas State and number 22 Iowa State. And the score is Iowa State up 17-14 with 9:05 left in the fourth quarter. Moving on, former NBA star, the Rain Man, Sean Kemp, has been sentenced to 30 days of electronic home monitoring for a 2023 shooting. He also has to complete 240 hours of community service and serve 1 year of State Department of Corrections supervision. And last but not least, the Revs will take on Columbus tonight at 7:30. Your Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by the A Voice for Mikey Autism Foundation Gala on Wednesday, September 3rd at the Cape Club in Sharon. Guests will enjoy an evening of dinner, dancing, celebrity appearances, and more. 100% of the proceeds go to support families struggling to care for an autistic child. To purchase tickets or donate, please visit avoiceformikey.com. That's avoiceformikey.com. I'm Leroy Irvin. Your next update is in an hour.
Get the app.
There's the potential there for big stuff.
98.5, the Sports Hub app. Get the app. Two local guys, lots of local sports talk. Leroy Irvin and Cerrone battle on Boston's home for sports. 98.5, the Sports Hub.
There was a report today that Jalen Pope will have to have season-ending shoulder surgery. Can you add it?
I can't. I freak out. Heart rate goes through the roof and all that. I need someone like Mike Vrabel to show up if there's ever a rodent issue, because it's apparent he can't stand a rat. But here's the thing, Cerrone. When I heard him say that, I was like, all right, this is all performance. This is all theatrical. Or maybe it isn't, but don't waste your time. Don't waste your time trying to sniff out who's the rat or anything like that, because we live in a world where everybody has this thing called a smartphone in their hand, and they're going to share information. It might have been the player himself putting it out there. I just wish, let's not make a big story about this, because unfortunately that's the world we live in. And it also makes me wonder, is this one of those examples of the old way clashing with the new way of living that's going on in this world today?
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. I mean, it's how do you prevent information from getting out? You can't even contain government secrets in 2025. How do you going to contain a football injury?
Right.
Dude sitting there laying on the table with the doctor with the knife in his hand, like, yeah, Texas girl, Texas friend. And, all it takes is tell your best friend, like his best friend, girlfriend, brother, cousin, whoever, yeah, man, I'm done for the year. I got to go for surgery. And they reply back, oh, wow, that's wild, man. And then that dude or whoever puts it on their social media like, man, my boy going to be out. He ain't going to be able to do it for the Pats this year. That's all it takes. Someone puts in a phone call, slide into a DM. He's out for the season. Yeah, he getting surgery. That's literally all it takes. This is not the early 2000s, pre-smartphone. Information and technology goes out there fast. And the only way to prevent it is not put the information out there. It's that simple. If you don't want people to know, then, first of all, you can't prevent the guy not being. What are you going to say when he's not there every week? Every week, he's going to get better. Just come out. Here's my thing. This goes for all the coaches in college football and every sport, basketball, NBA, NFL, MLB, front offices. The easiest way to not deal with this stuff, don't tell it to your conference room. Once you've made that decision, immediately go public and make it known. Yeah, get ahead that way, the information goes out. Mm-hmm. The information goes out properly. The information is complete. He's going out. He has to show the issue. He tore it during the second quarter on the right sideline. He's getting surgery on Tuesday. Rehab is 3 months. He should be back up and catching footballs again by Thanksgiving. Just come out and get ahead of it and put it out. It's kind of like what's the movie with Eminem, 8 Mile? Mm-hmm. The finale against what's his name? These dudes shouldn't have let him go first. What he did at the end of the movie, he knew it was a battle.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put all my information out there first,
so you can't use it against me.
You can't use it against me, and I already said it. So if you don't want rats and all this other stuff, you as a head coach, the minute the decision is made for him to get surgery and go on IR, either the team puts out a tweet, you tweet your own tweet. Don't let somebody else do it. Or hey, we're going to have a press conference today at 3:00. What's going on? I'll let you know at 3. It's 2:00. We're going 3:00. I'll tell you. And then put it out there. Put out a press release like back in the day. Just put it out there. That way there's no one leaking anything. Stop trying to be all secretive, man. It's football. You're not invading Las Vegas to beat the Raiders. You're playing a football game.
Right.
There shouldn't be all this secretive stuff going on, and that way you don't have to deal and worry about this.
Yes.
And it was theatrics. I got to find a rat.
Right.
Ain't nobody worried about that.
Again,
you ain't scaring nobody. You better win 9 games, or you gonna be needing a rat to get a job.
Scurrying like a rat. It's 2025, and again, I just feel like it's not a battle that you want to waste time trying to fight. Cerrone, you was bringing up examples of how the information could get out. It could get out as simple as a family member is in the kitchen, someone's phone is sitting, it's his mom or his dad or whoever, and a text comes through and they see it, and then they text their boy, and then it's not a battle you want to fight.
It takes minutes, literally.
Seconds.
It takes seconds. You're right. For something to go viral, especially if you're a professional athlete in Boston. I know we're probably going to touch it on a little bit later. Jaylen Brown information. It was a man probably wasn't even booked yet. And we knew about it. We knew what happened, where it happened. We knew his background. We knew his history. If someone does something on social media that people don't like, it could be yelling at somebody walking a dog. Within minutes, they find out where that person works, where they live, where they went to high school, and pull up their old information from 20 years ago, things that they've said or whatever. Information. If I'm running a professional team, any information that goes out, I'm like, yo, no secrets here. We just gonna put it out there. We don't want no one breaking news and then breaking it with not all the information, or it's not fully completely true.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no, like something you're finding out now. Athletes literally are finding out they're being traded or whatever by reading the bottom line on ESPN or on Twitter.
That's crazy.
It's like, what do you mean? They ain't even called me yet. Don't tell nobody else in the room without calling that player first. Mm-hmm. Before you make the decision to tell anybody else as an owner or a GM. If you're a GM, don't call your assistants and the water boy in there to bring you whatever, a personal assistant. Call that player in here first. Hey, Joe Schmo, we're going to trade you to the Browns, immediately. Thanks for everything you've done. Okay, now I'm going to bring everybody in and let them know. Let the player know first, not the person bringing you copies, because they're the ones leaking stuff to TMZ. TMZ paid them $100,000 for the information. Of course, they're going to leak it.
So it's not even that difficult. I'll go a little bit further. We've all been in meetings. Majority of the people that are in meetings
texting
are on the phone.
I don't text my wife so many different meetings.
Right. So if let's say you are you're in a meeting talking about an injury to a player. You don't know if somebody right there is texting or sending a message. Dang, came in to work excited today and found out player X is out for the season.
Yep. Man, I just saw Polk getting wheeled in the operating room. Like it did. Somebody at New England Baptist or one of the hospitals see this dude coming in with his arm in a sling. They sending it out there. It don't take long.
I remember when Tatum and LMA, no one really even knew that they were together and that she was pregnant. And somebody at a local hospital saw them, and the word went out before they wanted anybody to know.
Yep. That's it. And the only way they could have avoided that was have the doctors come to their house.
Right.
That's the only way. That's the only way you could do anything. Or the minute you find out that she's with child, immediately put something out there letting them know. Because if not, they're going to speculate. They're going to make up their own conclusions, rumors. It just turns into something that's really not. And you got to get ahead of it. And if I'm Vrabel, I'm learning from this and I'm saying, you know what? Any information I put out there, I'm going to be the one to put it out. And I'm going to put it out immediately.
Real quick.
No secrets in here.
Do you think he has some stuff to learn when it comes to coaching in 2025?
Yeah. I think they all do. Especially, you can tell he's an old school guy. He's got old school ways about him. There are some coaches now who probably don't keep no secrets. They just put it out there. They don't care. They're just real free with how they talk. There's nothing, and they're really – I can think of an old school guy. But look at somebody like Pete Carroll, who's about as old school as they get, but you can tell he's young. He's a young-minded dude. Yep. He likes to do a lot of fun, young things and do what the kids are doing.
He's willing to adapt.
He's willing to adapt and willing to learn and adjust. He knows they're all sitting there on their phones. I take it to college level. You got a lot of college coaches at some of these major programs who kind of let the kids do what they want to do because it's BAM, it's Ohio State. We're gonna let them do what they're gonna do. Anybody who watches anything with Colorado, Deion said as soon as they come in the room, he got this long list of things that not to do. I don't want no one on their phone. I don't want no one with headphones on in the meeting. I don't want anybody doing this, and this, because this is how things get spread and get put out there. He understands the climate, but he tries to get ahead of it like, like you said, guys in the meeting room with their phone out. He just simply says, I don't want nobody on their phone when we doing any football-related activities. That way y'all can't be in here DMing people from the meetings and all this stuff. Some coaches let them do it. So things get out, things get leaked. It doesn't take much, man. It doesn't take much, but you got to get ahead of it. That way you can control the information that's going out and put it out there the way you want it. Instead of, I just want to know, how was you going to tell that Jalen Pope was out for the season? Were you going to not tell nobody? That's what I'm curious about.
Right. 617-779-0985 is the number. When we get back, speaking of old school ways and controlling the narrative, Bill Belichick. He's no longer coaching in the pros. We already know that. He's coaching at UNC. But he sure enough has something to say this past week. We'll talk about that and more. It's 985, the Sports Hub.
More Leroy. Now, Leroy Irvin and Cerrone battle. Leroy and Cerrone on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Home.
In 2017, Bill got into a pissing contest with the greatest player of all time that extended all the way through the season, and he extended it through the Super Bowl with a player named Malcolm Butler. The team lost 41-33 despite Brady throwing for 500. The next year, he tried to trade the greatest tight end of all time, arguably. That didn't work. They were able to win a Super Bowl thanks to him. The next year, he was able to piss off the greatest quarterback of all time to an extent that the player wanted to leave. And in 2020, after that player left, he went and won a Super Bowl. 2021, they said, Bill, we're going to get some people around you because you're really effing things up left and right. Things went a little bit better. But then the next year, he decided to put two of his pals in charge of the entire offense and just wandered along all off season, ambiguously saying that we got it. You people sit there. They didn't got it. Then they pissed away the first round pick of Mac Jones. So Bill, making $25+ million a year, is mad now that he didn't get to treat an NFL franchise like his personal sandbox with no checks and no balances for the extent of his career until he got sick of coaching. To me, that is the God.
Messages you can't repeat.
Messages start flying, asking the Sports Hub to unplug our mics. You know, I even went as far as saying I believed Belichick was sabotaging the organization. And, oh, you're crazy. You don't know what you're talking about. Get out of here.
Then he makes a failed D coordinator the head of his offense.
I'm like, come on.
I could raise my hand. I'm one in the same too. I'm a Belichick apologist.
Please.
To the grave.
It was so clear to me, and I know there are still people who are going to say, "Yeah, you sound crazy." And I've also learned, Cerrone, in the years of doing this, that a lot of the times it's not about the message, but it's about the messenger.
Mm-hmm.
And people, for whatever reason, tend to believe people who they like. And someone who they may not like or may not know, aren't familiar with, they'll just dismiss them, even though they might have said it before. I'm sorry, but this latest thing now with Bill Belichick, when he with Fox Sports, there's no owners, sons, all that stuff. I said to myself, man, Bill Belichick is extremely petty. And I wonder, now that time has kind of passed, we've moved on. I wonder if people are starting to question how much impact he really did have on the downfall of this organization. We had someone call in earlier today and saying that the organization, talent-wise, is just rotted from inside, and they got to rebuild. And I think everyone agrees that they've taken some steps and that they do have to rebuild.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm like, y'all, look at how petty this man is.
Yeah, it really makes you think, well, how much winning was he trying to do? If he knew the writing was on the wall, he wasn't going to be here long, why would he leave you with a great situation? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would he set the Crafts up with a great franchise before he headed out the door?
Right.
Like, I mean, come on now. I mean, we saw the situation we did with the quarterbacks. It's the same thing. He even did it with it. He took a kicker in the 4th round. He took a kicker. Knowing his team needed all kinds of talent, he took a kicker. And then the draft before that one, he's sitting there and he's got the dog sitting at the table. We thought it was funny. Bill has got the dog. Yeah. It's like, what is he doing? But he got the benefit of the doubt because of his name and his status and everything around him.
Yep.
But I mean, me personally,
oh yeah,
exactly. He's a genius when it comes to X's and O's. We all know that. We love talking to him, listening to him talk about football. It's great, and he breaks things down and simplifies it for people who don't even play the game. Like, oh, that's probably going to work. But
it's impossible.
Think the attitude of things he does away from that is what kind of throws people off.
It's like
the reason why I think NFL owners just said, no, I'm not going to hire this guy because they know other things are going to come with it. What if he gets mad at me? Is he going to be calling out?
Right.
Why would Jerry Jones hire him? Remember the Cowboys? Oh, he's going to the Cowboys. That was the story.
Jim,
why would Jerry Jones hire him? If Jerry Jones' situation is it's him and his kids that run the organization. If this guy feels this way about owners and their kids, all these teams got their kids running one part of the organization somewhere. Even in the NBA, it's like that. The Major League Baseball, all these owners have their children lined up to be their successors. So for him to say, "Oh yeah, I'm in a situation now where I don't have the kids on around," I got news for you. You mess around and go 500 at Chapel Hill. Mess around. Go ahead. It's not the NFL, but when you're dealing with a college program, not saying just football wise, UNC as a brand, a global brand, is big time. And they don't need you messing it up. All eyes on them. They're going to have the ESPN thing there on Labor Day. They're going to be in Chapel Hill, out there in front, probably in front of the big well, whatever. They're going to be out there, and UNC's on the map. Go ahead and embarrass them if you want. And, yeah, you're not going to be dealing with nobody's kids, but alumni and all these boosters and all that stuff, he's going to have problems. So he's going to have to learn how to be a better professional in this situation. Thinking it's going to be sweet and he can do what he want to do is going to be his downfall.
I think it's safe to say his pettiness cost the Patriots probably 2 Super Bowl wins.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Malcolm Butler joint, Tom Brady, what a wasted game. I mean, just dominance. To start the game and not have one of your players that was out there and have the team, they probably could have won that one. And then, if Tom Brady sticks around, who's to say? They could have probably won another one.
Yep.
It's just, I think it's time. And I don't want to take anything away from Bill Belichick and what he was able to accomplish. He accomplished a lot. As a matter of fact,
Wes Welker's feet. Don't forget that one.
Yeah,
the foot joke.
Exactly. I also think he should be the next one to have a statue at Gillette.
Yes.
But in the same breath, you got to look at him and be like, man, his pettiness, his selfishness, him being a narcissist. And I guess all of that you got to be in order to be, to some degree, to be successful. But his is showing. It's really, really showing. There was absolutely no reason to bring up anything like that.
He's
UNC, go do your thing.
Because he's comfortable and think where he's at, he thinks everything is sweet. Everything, and I'd be honest with you. Yeah, they've sold out all their tickets. All that stuff is going down. But people aren't as optimistic as they were 2 months ago. Oh, man, all they got to do is this, and this. They're going to be in the ACC championship. Okay.
Relaxing.
Okay. We're not sure this team is better than Duke down the street. They're not sure if they're better than NC State. So for all everybody's feeling good about them, you're not even sure if you're the best team in the state of North Carolina. You didn't have that as the head coach of New England Patriots. There was no competition. He's got to be the best team in this state first before he can do anything. Before he can
worry about what everybody else thinks.
Mess around and lose to NC State. Mess around and lose to Duke. Man, they're gonna get him out of there. They're gonna get him out of there, and they're gonna get rid quick. They're gonna add all the other stuff in with the girlfriend and the being petty and all the other stuff. They're gonna say, you know what? We don't know if you're good for business. We don't know if we want you leading a room full of 18 to 22-year-old men. Into football games every Saturday. We don't know if you're the guy for that. Yeah, that's what they're probably going to say.
Let's take a break. Wait. Don't play any music, because before we go to break, let's keep it light, because when we get back, I think it's going to get a little hostile. So let's go to Mark in Dorchester. He wants to talk about somebody who pitched 7 innings, struck out 5, gave up just 3 hits. Mark, what's going on?
Yeah, hey guys, happy Saturday. Just you guys are killing it again as I'm on my Saturday routine here. But maybe you guys talked about it earlier, but I just want to call in and give Bayo his flowers last night. Guy is stepping up. I think if he continues on this, projection and his consistency and he stays locked in, I think he can be a solid, high-end number 2 starter for us long term. So just want to call and give him his flowers. Maybe you guys brought it up earlier, but just shout out to him last night.
Appreciate it, Mark. We actually did talk about the Red Sox to some degree, but you got to give them credit. I mean, again, 7 innings pitched, 5 strikeouts, allowed 3 hits in a game where, I guess in recent history, 1-0.
Yeah.
You would think
first
the
time.
Reds,
I think I heard Joe say first time since the 90s. They beat the Yankees 1-0.
Yeah.
Oof. That's tough. Let's take a quick break. Like I said, when we get back, it might get a little hostile. It just because we saw something hypocritical.
Oh man!
At the Patriots' last preseason game, I mean, it was disgusting.
Why you always keep stuff going, Leroy?
Hey, because we got to. It's 98.5 The Sports Hub.
You're listening to Lee. taking your calls, giving hot takes. Leroy Irvin and Cerrone battle on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Fans should be excited about Jackson Dart. Why?
Oh, my goodness. He's intelligent. He's got the arm strength, but it's the moxie. It's the way that he carries himself. And you've seen it even the way he's played in the preseason, the arm angles, the swagger. I think guys really resonate and are drawn to a guy like that. He has the pedigree from playing a lot of snaps in college. Really excited to see when he gets out there this season.
Taking my time because I'm reminding myself to stay really, really calm.
Why you gotta stay calm?
Because I don't want to get too animated. But I am fired up about this. We both posted about this pretty much around the same time.
Yeah.
And then called each other to talk about this.
The camera angles is why.
So, the Patriots' last preseason game was against the New York Giants. You already know that. Their young rookie quarterback is Jackson Dart.
Mm-hmm.
New Yorkers, they're just drooling. They're going crazy over him, but they go crazy over everything. Sorry,
yeah, they did.
New York, y'all just do.
Remember they go crazy over Carl Anthony Towns.
Right. Remember when y'all beat the Celtics and y'all went crazy? I thought y'all won a championship and nothing.
They were tearing down street signs to get to the conference finals.
I will admit it is entertaining watching them go crazy. But
it is. It's great for sports.
Oh my God.
It's great for sports. Without that, we wouldn't have anything.
But ladies and gentlemen, can I just tell them what I put out there? I
go ahead.
My post said Jackson Dart's chain is really shining tonight. That's all I said. I left it alone. And typically the interaction on Twitter X is pretty decent, but for some reason, I can't figure out why. That post was kind of quiet. I didn't feel any type of way, though. Then, Cerrone, if you can remember, I don't know if you remember word for word, you put out a post, and what did you say about Jackson Dart?
It was a chain. I don't remember what I put up there. If somebody probably had it blocked or taken down by now, but I'll tell you exactly what I said. But it was all about the my man had about $1 million on his neck. That's pretty awesome.
Now, Cerrone, before you go on the necklace, I have to say that it is from his sister and is considered a lucky charm.
Oh.
But I'm just saying, go ahead, continue.
Bless their hearts. No, I said he's allowed to talk trash. They praise his swag. They praise his confidence. And I said, can even rock a very impressive diamond chain during the game. I said, but Sanders somehow can't show his imaginary watch. And I said, oh, by the way, Jackson Dart, he didn't win anything either at Ole Miss. That's always the excuse. Well, if he'd have won anything, he'd be allowed to do it. It's like, well, he didn't win anything either. Didn't win anything at USC, but lost his job. Goes to Ole Miss and looks good against bad teams. He gets picked. Look, shout out to him for doing this thing and making the best of his opportunity and getting drafted. And, hopefully soon he'd be the man in New York.
He's over there feeding Jameis Winston W's. With his fingers.
He is.
Oh, they just having a ball. The swag is on 1,000. But according to a lot of you, that's a no-no.
And listen, we got the audio to prove it. There was some heated discussions about swag and attitude and confidence and overconfidence on this station with some of the shows we did after the draft. So don't come on there like, whoa, no, we never say. We say no. The biggest knock was nothing to do with Sanders' talent. If you would have called in or on Twitter or anywhere else, anywhere, not just local people, anywhere. If people would have said he drops his elbow, he doesn't drop his elbow when he throws, his footwork is off, he's a little high when he throws over the middle, everybody is cool with that. That's analysis.
Exactly the same. Surprised?
But to say a guy's not allowed to be flashy in college? Leroy,
I know.
What's the average age of a college player? 20?
Probably, yeah.
College? In 2020, college? You can't be college. Where teams have a turnover chain on the sidelines. where they give out a bone with diamonds on it.
Wait, Cerrone, did I see the Giants with a safe?
They had a turnover safe. They put the
Giants have a turnover safe? We just got to call it like it is. I'm just going to say it. The hypocrisy is disgusting.
Yeah.
You should be ashamed of yourselves if you have a problem with Shedeur Sanders, but was A-OK with Jackson Dart. And Dart's not the only one. And to be honest, I don't have a problem. A lot of guys are that way. I don't have a problem with it.
None whatsoever. No, this is not against Jackson Dart.
No.
Jackson Dart is who he is. He had swag at Ole Miss. That whole system did. There's a lot of talent on the Ole Miss team. They had high expectations. They were doing their thing on the sidelines when they were lighting teams up in the games that they did win. He had it. Everybody knew about this kid when he went to SC, but he couldn't beat out Caleb Williams. And none of these kids probably would have beat out Caleb Williams. Goes to Ole Miss, makes the best of his opportunity. This is nothing against him. He didn't do anything wrong. He's being a kid out of college who was just given millions of dollars. This is the way they all act. And this was our point from the very beginning. Abdul Carter got drafted. He stood up there looking like Morpheus with diamonds everywhere. And it's like, look at this dude. And there was a lot of Giants players. There was Patriot players on the sidelines blinged out. But when you pick and choose who can celebrate, what this player can wear or not wear, as it's saying this bothers you, but when another guy does it, it's not fair. You see what I'm saying? It's like, and the reason I'm saying this, a lot of people called and said, the showing of the watch. He's showing his watch when he scores. Well, stop him from scoring 40 times and he wouldn't show his watch. I mean, what do you want him to do?
Crazy.
There's guys, we said it that night. There's players that got drafted who celebrate for 20 seconds on an overthrow pass. Like a DB, like, the ball, he does a incomplete. He crosses arms. They point to the sky. CeeDee Lamb was doing the nose sniffing point when their season was over. But everybody's cool with it. But Shedeur, when he throws his 40th touchdown, puts up his wrist to represent his watch. It's too much. I don't want that in my organization. That's just too much. It's no. I get the kids are watching. What about the kids? By the way, you got to see the videos of him at these high schools the last few days. The kids seem to love him. And when the kids saw him, the first thing they did was all put their wrist up. He's a superstar. The kids love me. He's the people's champ.
He's actually playing right now, and he just pulled off some phenomenal moves, escaping in the pocket, got away, he threw the ball, and the wide receiver just dropped it. And
they got him out there. The
crowd is upset. Like, catch the ball after
he's been getting beat up his first half.
Cerrone, can I bring it on home, though? For those who still have an issue with apparently Shedeur being flashy, and we already brought up the Jackson Dart thing, you know you love it, and you know the reason why you know you love it is because right here on the Boston Red Sox, we have a player named Roman Anthony. Now, he has his way of doing things, but you know what was kind of special, added to the glory of that 2-run home run?
Oh, say it. It was beautiful. Say it.
When he flipped the bat. The
beautiful
way he did it. You said,
You can almost hear him mumble under his breath. Like, get out of here. As soon as he did it.
Yeah.
I said, look at that. I don't even know. I don't usually do that, but.
Do it again.
Telling fans to shut up and not that polite.
Do it again. That's what the people want. They want Jackson Dart to be blinged up and have energy. That's good for New York. That's good for the NFL. The Cleveland Browns had no reason to cheer for the last 40 years. None whatsoever.
No reason to be on NFL Network right now.
No reason to be on TV whatsoever. Now they're on NFL Network because of him. The fans are there buying his jersey because of him. Okay, if he shows his watch and they go 1-16, so be it. But the fans want to see him. They ain't there to see you, Otis. They there to see him. Yeah, Joe Flacco. Yeah, he'll keep us afloat until we find our quarterback. They don't want to be afloat with Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco can go out there and throw 50 touchdowns. They're still going to want Shedeur Sanders. Why? Flacco's boring. He's not going to win them a Super Bowl or anything. So it's like, can we at least be entertained while we suck? They don't care. They want that. And it's the same way in every sport. Baseball. Shout out to all the guys, Carabas, all these guys, and Milliken. keeping the energy of baseball youthful and alive. They want the bat flip. They want the trash talk. I want to see somebody get plunked and then look at the ref. Look at the pitcher like, yo, I'm about to clothesline you. That's entertaining. That's what the people want. That's what the newer age of fans, they want to be entertained. Why do you think WWE is still popular? They want the nonsense. Right. If you can find a way to add the entertainment to the sport, people will love it. People weren't feeling SGA, even though he was finals MVP, all this stuff. Why do people don't like SGA? Because he's quiet and boring. Even though he looked like Pootie Tang, he's still quiet and boring. But he dresses like Pootie Tang.
You know what, Cerrone? We got to end it right there. That was too funny. We got to take a quick break. Before we go, clap it up. Red Sox are up 9-1 over the Yankees. This game, it's the top of the ninth. Oh, plus man, Yankee fans are looking tight. But it is what it is. When we
I'm
get
glad
back,
it's Yankee fans. I'm glad it's them. Yep. It's good for business.
When we get back, Jason Tatum.
Stay tuned for more from and Cerrone on the Sports Hub.
Not even mentioned or has anything to do with the song. Cold world.
Oh my God, 617-779-0985. I'm smiling so hard. This brings me back. We only got a few minutes before we got to take another break and give you a Sports Hub headlines.
You can set it up. You can go ahead and set it up.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, we got somebody on the phone who wants to talk about Belichick. Before we go to them, just so you know, the Red Sox are now up 12-1. It's the bottom.
Throw the towel.
Yeah, it's the bottom of the ninth. There's 2 outs, 1 more out to go.
Throw the towel.
And the Red Sox will have 3 wins in a row versus the Yankees.
Can the Yankees recover from this?
No, they're going to have a tough time. This is going to be tough.
Imagine if the Red Sox would went into this series and lost 3 in a row. What would the conversation? We wouldn't be talking about the Patriots and the Celtics and anything else right about now. Like, it'd be the end of the road for them. Like, I know they still got a ton of games left.
Boys to men.
But that's it. If the roles were reversed, both teams are basically in the same situation, separated by half game or whatever it was for the series started. And people will, if they can split or whatever, but if the Red Sox would have lost 3 in a row to the Yankees, New York media would be riding high and the fans would be uncontrollable as usual.
Yep.
And we'd be burying this team right now. Like, that's it. They blew it again. We knew it was going to happen. We just didn't know when. But yet, here we are. And they took it to them. They owned this team all year. Yeah. Good for them. Were you waiting for the nail in the coffin, Leroy?
Yeah, I'm sitting here looking. Yeah, regardless, this game is a wrap. So, Red Sox fans, I want to dedicate this song.
New York, he can't find 40,000 millionaires to fill them seats.
Like,
and this has been going for a few years.
Were the ones that controlled his pay schedule. So now he's saying, this was my pay schedule. I made it work. This is all I had allocated to pay players. That's why I wanted to get rid of Gronk. Sure, I would have loved to keep Gronk another extra couple of years and get the players I wanted, but I was restricted. And Belichick's not going to come out and directly say that the way he was. And look, I look at it like you guys, I think he's making mistakes where he's talking. I'm not a Belichick supporter. I'm just thinking, I heard that other side of the argument a little bit, wanted to see what you guys thought of that. Is there any credence in the fact that he's trying to say, I made it work this year when I made it work in the past when management, didn't give me anything, and I took the blame for it. So I want to come out and let you guys know the reason why I want to let rid of guys go is because I didn't have the budget some of the other teams.
Appreciate it, Chris. Chris, we will tackle that. You get it? Football tackle that when we get back. Your Sports Hub headlines plus your entertainment report when we get back. Cerrone, if you could, just, again, write a note about what Chris just said so that we can absolutely touch on that, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, appreciate it. It's 985 The Sports Hub. And for the record, this one right here, Pebbles wanted this song. Pebbles from 96.9. Pebbles, this one's for you.
How's your body? How's your body to the mix? I'll sit all over the place, so don't let nobody get in your way. Tonight's your night, today's your day. Africa will say you wrong. Say what? House music all night long. Say what? House music.
From the Tell Your Tire Studios, WBZ FM HD1.
It's not just the games. It's Toucher and Hardy, Zolak and Bertrand, Felger and Maz, Joe Murray. For Boston sports fans, it's 98.5, the Sports Hub.
Paisley Media Group Station.
Sports Hub headlines, presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
All right, so I know this game happened yesterday, but when it comes to the Yankees, we got to celebrate. So the Red Sox over the Yankees yesterday, 1-0. They are currently playing each other, and the Red Sox are up 12-1. I think the game might even be over. It's the final. 12-1 Red Sox win. That's what's up. Moving on in the NFL, there are 10 games on deck today to wrap up the preseason. Some of them are about to end now. Final 53-man roster must be set by Tuesday, and the Pats cut over a dozen players yesterday, including 2023 first-round pick City So. College football is back, including a top 25 showdown between number 17 Kansas State and number 22 Iowa State, and it was Iowa State over Kansas State, 24-21. Former NBA star, the Rain Man, Shawn Kemp, my favorite player, well, one of them. Well, he's been sentenced to 30 days of electronic home monitoring for a 2023 shooting. He also has to complete 240 hours of community service and serve 1 year of State Department of Corrections supervision. And finally, last but not least, the Revs take on Columbus tonight at 7:30. Your Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by the A Voice for Mikey Autism Foundation Gala on Wednesday, September 3rd at the Cape Club in Sharon. Guest will enjoy an evening of dinner, dancing, celebrity appearances, and more. 100% of the proceeds go to support families struggling to care for an autistic child. To purchase tickets or donate, please visit avoiceformikey.com. That's avoiceformikey.com. I'm Leroy Irvin. Your next update is not at an hour, but Leroy and Cerrone will be right back.
Training camp is coming, and we'll be there to bring you every drill, every scrimmage and preseason game as the Pats get ready for a new season of football. On your home for all things Patriots, 98.5, the Sports Hub.
Now, Leroy Irvin and Cerrone battle on Boston's home for sports, 98.5, the Sports Hub.
Messing up before.
Matt, Daniel, Leroy.
You go in there and get me here.
I love my mother. My mother is the sweetest person you'll ever meet.
She is. She's very, very nice. I've never seen her mad, ever.
I did.
I know your mom since the 90s. I had never seen her mad.
I seen her mad one time. I'll never forget. Oh, Lord, we was acting up. We deserved it. We deserve the wrath. Woo! Core memory unlocked. Bless her heart. I know she's listening, so Mommy, thank you. And she's very supportive. Thank you so much. Let's get to the entertainment report. Sorry for laughing. Real quick, another sex toy was thrown at a game. It wasn't at a WNBA game, though. No. You know where it was at, Cerrone? It was at the Titans-Vikings preseason game last night in Tennessee. I just wanted to put that out there. This has got to stop. It's so immature.
So who's going to the store to buy this stuff to throw it on?
Not only is it immature, but it's played out. Like, it's been done, what was it, 3 different times at a WNBA game?
And the Bills fans did it, 2 years ago?
Oh, my God.
And they did a lot of them. They covered the end zone. Hilarious. But
anyways, moving on. New music. Wu-Tang Clan member Ghostface Killer's new album, Supreme Clientele, dropped yesterday. Cerrone, I've listened all the way through it 3 times. And despite 22 tracks on the album, it's too short for me. It's just way too short. He adopted the whole 2-minute and some change songs, and it's just too short because I wanted more. Ghost, he stays true to who he is. It's nostalgic and yet innovative. You got features from Nas, Method Man, Raekwon, The GZA, Styles P, M.O.P., and more. So go check it out. His voice is a little bit different, but whose isn't when you get older?
And real quick, just to add to that everybody's going back to that. The Cardi B's new track that made Jay-Z's album blow up from the 90s, and people are discovering true hip hop for the first time.
It's crazy.
It's like, oh, wait a minute, what's that sound? It's like, oh, that's the way music used to sound back in the day.
Right, one of the comments was somebody is going to listen to this for the first time, and I am jealous.
Wow. I give it an 8 out of 10, just for you to check it out when you get a chance. I'm telling you, it's going to take you back. Cerrone. Cerrone, don't go off. There is a new Jussie Smollett documentary on Netflix. I tried to watch it last night, but the secondhand embarrassment I felt sitting there watching him lie again. Yes, he's sticking to the lie.
There's no way he's still sticking to it.
I had to turn it off. I turned it off. I had to turn it off. Check it out if you want, but
juicy smoothie.
Yeah. And last but not least,
Subway sandwich at midnight in Chicago.
Yeah. Wow. Also, Weapons is a new movie in theaters.
I want to see it so bad, man. See, kids creep me out. First of all, the kids get me.
Well, Cerrone, the reviews are starting to pour in, and apparently, this psychological thriller is the truth. It's on its Paul Pierce. That's what I'm hearing. I got it on my list.
I haven't heard one negative. People are putting it up there. Want some of the great horror thrillers ever.
All right, I got to go check it out. And last but not least, the situation surrounding the death of Hulk Hogan is becoming stranger by the day. The word is that allegedly his cause of death may be medical malpractice. Apparently, a nerve that helps control breathing had been severed. There also seems to be some disconnect between Hogan's kids and his widow, whose name is Sky. Sky also said that an autopsy was done, but she wouldn't reveal the results, and that Hogan's body hasn't been cremated yet. Unbelievable. I mean, it just gets stranger and stranger and stranger. And that's your entertainment report.
That's wild. Come on, man.
I know.
It's always the legends.
Always.
It's always something with the legends.
Just got to pause for a second. That's tough. That's really, really tough. Daggone Hulk Hogan. We only got about 4 minutes, before we take a break. Cerrone, I just want to touch on two things. I'm going to go light and then I'm going to go a little bit heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Light. This is extremely, extremely random, but does anyone else smile when they hear the Xfinity commercial and there's the piano part that plays at the end? George, do you have that piano part?
I do have it. Give me a second.
If you could just play that. I don't know if it's just me, but every time this commercial comes on, I start smiling. And the piano.
Be all right, because it isn't going to be isolated, but you'll be able to get to the piano.
Exactly the same.
That part.
Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at Xfinity.com/deals.
I think it's
Restrictions apply. New residential customers.
I think it's because we come from church, and that sounds like an altar call, where the service is over, and they say, you know what, if you're feeling low, if you're feeling guilty, if you feel like you need to give your life to God,
the streets are tugging at you.
Come on up. And the piano
they look right at you.
Yeah.
Exactly the same. Surprised?
They always look for the person who's not dressed for church. Like, come on up, young man. So I just came to give my mother her keys.
You ever see the comedian Little Rel talk about how church has changed and how anybody could be in the choir back in the day? And he was like, his cousin who just got out of prison would be up there like, don't worry to the battle was so fun. Clapping all hard and looking all gangster. Anyways, and the heavy thing I wanted to bring up, and this goes out to all the trolls out there, all you suckers out there. Cade Povich, who is a pitcher for the Baltimore Orioles, put out a post on Twitter X about how his wife got death threats because of his performance on the field.
Throw it down while he's in the middle of the game and to type it and just start screaming in his face. And you just get a chance to find your troll.
And then you can bring out the camera people from out of retirement who used to work for Maury Povich and have them set to go, because you know how they used to chase the DNA, just
run out of take off running.
Yeah, they just chase him down the hall. You ain't getting away. They could do the same thing in this and just chase them. keep the camera on them and chase them. But I just wanted to put those two little things out there. That's disgusting.
It is bad. I mean, the person literally went in her DMs and said he was going to kidnap her and all kinds of things simply because he didn't like her husband's pitching performance. Like, this is what we doing?
Disgusting.
Stuff to me, if you make threats like that, the police should be kicking down your door to find out who you are.
Should
through social media, but it's allowed. So, and what are you gonna do?
All right, let's take a break. When we get back, we got to talk about Jason Tatum.
More Leroy. The local sports talk. Leroy Irvin and Cerrone battle on Boston's home for sports. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
No weight whatsoever on the right ankle. Every Celtics title defense, it seems, comes with some calamitous injury that changes the course of history. Is Jason Tatum going to bounce back from this, or is this the one we're talking about? Anunoby had the steal. Tatum tried to get in front of him.
They planted his foot, and it didn't even look like the ankle turns.
Bridges knocked it away from Jaylen Brown. And Tatum had to react quickly and suddenly and put his right foot out in front of him to try to get in front of Anunoby. And he just went crumpling to the ground.
Wow. What a shame.
You would say it just went from bad to worse for the Celtics, but worse does not encapsulate it.
This past Wednesday, Tatum talked about his recovery from his ruptured Achilles, and here's just a little bit of what he said. He said rehab is tedious. It's 6 days a week. I'm starting to get a little bit better. I'm out of the boot now. Better days ahead, but just trying to take it one day at a time. You gotta be resilient. He goes on to say the first 6 weeks of this was probably the toughest 6 weeks of any point in my life. Just have to accept it and realized it happened. It happened. And now I have to do everything in my power to get back to who I was and get back to playing. Cerrone, before on this show, I want to say it was maybe 2-3 weeks ago, we talked about if he should or should not play because it seemed as though his recovery was going faster than any of us thought. We've actually seen other players doing things that we wouldn't expect. Who was that player you sent me and they were dunking after 6 months?
DeJounte Murray. Yeah, he was catching alley-oops backwards.
Unbelievable.
He's out there catching alley-oops backwards. This goes back to the, we had Doctor on from BC.
Yep.
And we got to look at medicine different now. We have to, 6 months later, he's catching alley-oops. But no problem. 2 steps and just up and got it. I didn't even know he could do that when he was healthy. I've never seen DeJounte Murray catch an alley-oop backwards. And he just went out there like, hey, look at it. I got a whole new Achilles. Look at this.
But and
it's like,
Cerrone,
it's amazing.
In our conversations, and yes, people, we do prepare for the show. Oh, believe it or not. Oh, I know some people like to talk trash. Anyways, no, we do prepare for the show. And even if we didn't have a show, we would be talking sports to each other. Yeah. But Cerrone, you brought up a very, very good question. And it's basically is him being out, forcing people, the fans, the media, to finally see how valuable he is to the organization. And to be honest, I don't think people really get it, and they won't get it until October hits. Once they see the product on the floor, I'm not saying it's going to be bad, but it's going to definitely look different. I think people will start to recognize, and maybe he'll start to get the credit that he deserves for what he's done and what he could possibly do once he comes back.
Think about this. Without Jason Tatum, we have a conversation that's legit going on in Boston right now, in New England. Include everybody here. It's not just Boston. The conversation is going on that should you just take and get the first pick? So the difference between being a championship contender and tanking for the number 1 overall pick is one player. To me, that sounds like an MVP candidate. That sounds like a top 3, top 5 player. Well, top 3 player, in my opinion. That, he's the difference between, like, for example, we look at this team now, he lost KP. Well, he lost the ghost of KP, what he used to be. You lost Holiday. He's old.
By the
Al
way,
Horford's still out there, by the way.
By the way, you mentioned Holiday. I was at the arena. They still got the Holiday stuff up near the commuter rail, like
the North Station and then on the pillars.
Columns. Yeah, take them down, y'all.
Someone roll some paint up over there. He going there. He in Portland. Boy, it's cold blooded, but that's the way it works.
I know.
It is what it is. Get that out. He's been gone. But you lose Holiday, an older version of Holiday, Porzingis, Al Horford's gone, and you bring in a 20-point scorer from Portland, a young kid. And you still have Pritchard, you still have Derek White, and all the little pieces, Neemias Kaner and, Hauser. You have all the pieces. And it's like, with Tatum, you're like, yeah, it's a championship team. You take Tatum out, and it's just like, man, what are we doing? We don't have a center. We don't have a small forward. We don't have a guard. It's like, no, only thing you're missing from being one of the best teams in the NBA is him. And for all those who said, I think Jaylen Brown's better. Oh, I don't think Jason Tatum deserves the credit that he's getting. Is he really top 5? You about to find out. By Thanksgiving, your questions are going to be answered. And I honestly think the team is going to be good. because I believe in Derek White. I believe in Peyton Pritchard. I believe in Simons, even though they keep trying to trade this kid out of here. No. You're going to need somebody to score the basketball. And that kid's capable of scoring 20, 25 points a game easily. He's probably one of the best one-on-one players left on this roster right now. For those who haven't seen him play, you can go pull him up on YouTube. It's out there. I think this team is still going to win well over 40 games. I think they're going to be right there in the mix. And part of it is because I don't see any dominant teams in the Eastern Conference that's going to really separate themselves. But with Jason Tatum, I honestly think Jason Tatum is worth 15, 20 games. If you win 40 without him, you can win 60 with him. It's that simple. He's the difference between being a championship contender and not. To me, that is an MVP caliber player. If you take him away, what does it look like? You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
And for those who said this about the Luka trade, Dallas, how do you get rid of Luka? What are you going to do? Oh, my God. Dallas is favored to go further next year without Luka than the Lakers are this year with Luka. And he got LeBron James as a running mate. And Dallas is still favored to be better than them. Jason Tatum, no way of form. How? You take him away, this Celtics team is not projected to be anywhere close to what they would have been with him. And I think people will finally see how good this kid is and what he means to this organization, because you really haven't had a chance to see that because he's the one guy that didn't get hurt. He's always there. When the coaches change, when the players are in, you're going to see about Peyton Pritchard and Sam Hauser. All these guys are better because Jason Tatum is on the court with them. Now we're going to see what it looks like without him, and I think that's going to be very intriguing for the Celtics team. But I do not agree they should be tanking by any means necessary to go next season. You try and win as many games as you can.
When Jason Tatum does make his return, and if he can play anything close to what we've known him to be.
Oh, you see it.
Oh, you'll see it, and I tell you what, then an MVP is on the way. He's going to win one because, like you just laid out, we're all going to see what the team is like without him. You're not saying they're going to be bad. I don't think they're going to be bad either. But it'll be clear. With him, they're just a different beast. Without him, they're going to be like, okay. And like I said, if he comes back, when he comes back, and if he can play anything close to what we've known him to be, then the MVP award is coming his way soon.
Yeah, and it's one scenario I'd like to compare it to, even though I do not quote me as saying this man is on his level.
Hold on. Let me think about this. Is this in the NBA? Or are you talking about?
This is an NBA thing from years ago. Very similar situation.
Somebody who got hurt came back.
He didn't even get hurt. He just went away and came back. You know what I'm talking about.
He just went away and came back.
Went away and came back. Went and played 100 minor league baseball games.
Okay, Michael Jordan, yeah.
Remember the debate. People still have this debate now for some stupid reason. Oh, Scottie Pippen was just as valuable as Michael Jordan was.
That's right.
Then Jordan left. And the team still maintained they were above 500. They got to the second round. He refused to come in. They lost to the Knicks. But the following season, before Jordan came back, you saw the impact of him not being there. The team was like 4 games under 500. Scottie Pippen pointing to the camera, telling Jordan to come back, showing the shoes.
Put the shoes up.
Put the shoes on. Jordan comes back a shell of himself. He's not the high flyer. He's got this post game. He's wearing the 45. It's not the same. They get bounced by the Magic in ugly fashion. They're done. Maybe they ain't that much different. Once he came back, it was 100% again. Just adding that top player in the league made that same roster that we questioned a 72-10 team.
Historic.
One player in the NBA can make that much of a difference. And if Jason Tatum comes back healthy, and the reason I compare it, because there's talks that he could be available to come back in March. Michael Jordan came back in March 17th, I believe it was. Jordan came back. They made a run, made the playoffs. If Jason Tatum can find a way to come back to this team and they're sitting at 500 and they play the second half of that season and they climb the standings and go deep into the playoffs, you're right. He is going to get more attention for being the best player in the NBA than he's ever gotten in his life, because the people are going to see locally and nationally the impact of Jason Tatum to the Boston Celtics in every way. Their money going to be funny. There's not going to be any traffic on the green line after games. There's not going to be any battles about what you're going to watch. He impacts everything when it comes to that team. And I think people are really going to notice that early on with this team.
All right, let's take another quick break.
You're listening to Leroy. Now, Leroy Irvin and Cerrone battle. Leroy and Cerrone on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Thank you. Y'all are family. We appreciate that a lot.
Yes, you are.
For
the
real.
people. It's all about you, the people.
That's right. Shout out to the YouTube chat.
Yes, sir. I was about to say, those who watching YouTube, my bad. I almost fell out the chair. My arm kind of slipped off the armrest here, and I almost went over. I'm as young as I used to be. That would have been funny, but shout out to y'all for watching and listening. And thank you for everybody who, tunes into us every week. And everything we do is geared toward family. And we think that's our perspective. That's our angle we bring to all of this and try and bring it back to. And come from large families and all that stuff. And we have our own families of our own, large families. And, we just think it's cool and it's fun when it has that type of atmosphere. So thank you and appreciate, y'all for tuning in and listening.
Speaking of family, my wedding is less than a month away.
This guy, hot dog.
Like that? I was engaged for 4 years.
If I had a collar or if I had a shirt with a collar, I'd be popping my collar right. And for those who are going to be in attendance during the reception,
lay the ground rules.
Yeah, if I just so happen to disappear, you know why.
Consummating the marriage?
I didn't say it. I didn't say it.
I'm old school like that.
Harry Houdini over there on the dance floor. Where'd he go? Like
buddy.
Batman, just throw the smoke and just gone. Like, all right.
It'll happen during a point where it's like a song that says everyone throw your heads in the sky.
Oh, so everybody's all busy?
Yeah. The heads going to be in the sky. Oh, I could have said something, but I ain't going to do it. Anyway.
we all know what you were going to say. I'm just going to get my car and leave.
It's getting hot here.
If I see one person say, that was Leroy at, I'm just going to stop laughing, get in the car, and just head on out.
It's getting hot. Lord have mercy. I'm all discombobulated now.
I bet you are.
I can't even think straight. I got a headache.
Sweating.
Blood rushing. I don't know what to do. Hey! Oh, perfect. When everyone's getting low,
everybody clap your hands.
Me and somebody gonna be out the door.
Clap your hands.
Somebody gonna be getting low.
Clap your hands.
Oh, I could go through it. Turn that off because my mind is just
Go ruin the song for my son.
Yeah.
you got the back of my head hurting, man. Because if I see you leave, I'm just going to bust out laughing. I'm going to grab my fish and my chicken and I'm leaving.
He ain't smoking outside, no.
Where'd he go?
I'll just send a text. Y'all don't tear up the place. Please. just have a good time.
Yeah, man. It looked a little hoity-toity, man. I ain't going to lie, man.
I thought you said something else. Oh, the Cerrone. But you said hoity-toity.
Fancy.
Fancy.
It looks real fancy, man. I'm not going to lie. So, okay, I see you, Leroy.
Yeah. I don't have the money for it, but it's fancy.
None of us do for anything.
I don't know how it's going to get done, but somehow, some way. There is OnlyFans, so maybe, I don't know.
Hey, man, as long as you got feet and OnlyFans, you good to go.
Real quick, Cerrone, you wanted to talk about this ESPN.
My head hurt.
Whether people love them or hate them, they have a new service, and they launched a new direct-to-consumer service this month. And basically, without going into details, this is – okay, let me back up, because every time technology jumps a level, I feel like the media and entertainment and all that, it takes some time to kind of adjust and figure things out and how to really, really use it the best way possible. And it seems as though we've been in this figuring out stage a long time. But with this thing with ESPN, long story short is that everything sports-wise, ESPN-wise will be in one spot, which I kind of feel that's how most things are. Like, I'm sick of all the streaming platforms, Netflix, all that stuff. Can we get maybe just one or two where everything is at.
Yeah.
Something like that. But Cerrone, you wanted to talk about the consumption, the change over the decades, the consumption of sports. What is it that you wanted to, get off of your chest?
Well, it's not so much get off your chest. It's just, I think people have to, I see, like when they announced this and they said what it was going to be, there was more complaining than anything else because it's another change.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it's technology. It's with anything. This new cell phone comes out every 6 months. The one you got today will be old tomorrow. Then you're going to have to adjust to it. Instagram is not what it was when it first came out. Facebook, Twitter is not, it doesn't even have the same name. Things change. Video game systems, every 5 years, you're getting a new one because the technology is just ahead. It's so fast. I mean, we went from the thought of electric car to everybody driving electric cars like in 2 years. It just happened. And now they're old again. We're getting back to V8s. But this technology, I think ESPN saying, you know what? We got all these deals. We got wrestling now. We got the NFL. We got the NBA. Plus our partnership with NBC, NBA and NBC, all this stuff. We don't want you going here to click that app, to click that app, to click TNT app, to click the ESPN and the NBC app. We're going to put everything that we got our money tied into in one place. You open up the ESPN app or Disney app, whatever, because they have the bundles with Hulu, whatever. You open it up. You're going to have the ability to watch the Celtics game, the Patriots game, or catch up on Alien Earth. Whatever you're going to watch, it's all going to be sitting right there in front of you. And I think that's fine. I think that's cool. And I just wish everything was in 4K because watching that Red Sox Yankees game in 720p was terrible. But they need to really change that. It's 2025. Can we at least get 1080p across the board? But anyway, I think the technology is advancing. I think this is cool. I think we have a generation now. Think about Leroy. Our kids didn't grow up with cable boxes.
Right.
They don't know about no cable box. And I think the problem is you went from black and white TV, 2 channels, to color TV. You had 6, 7 channels, whatever. The cable comes along, and cable ran the show from basically the end of the 70s up until like 5 years ago. So now every little change, I can't figure this out. I can't do this. And it's like, yes, you can. It's just a click of the button. It's a click of the remote or use your phone, whatever you're going to do. We got to adjust to it. But the consumption is going up to where, yeah, it's easy to access. But my gripe is I think it's too much to focus on to where you can't enjoy whatever you want to watch. Okay, I want to watch Texas, Ohio State. Bam, I got ESPN on. I'm good. So why do you got the Red Sox game and this game and that game all on at the same exact time to where you can't focus on one thing at a time and then say, man, I don't know why the ratings are down. Because everybody's turning the daggone channel because there's something on at the same time. I think it's too much consumption. It's too much going on. And what made me think of this was I'm watching the Dallas Cowboys documentary. And the way the Cowboys became America's team is simply because they were the only team you can get.
Yep.
No matter where you live, you always got the Cowboys game. You got your team's game and then the Cowboys. So the ratings, NFL ratings went through the roof for decades, almost half a century. Because on Sundays in between 1 and 8 o'clock, all you got is the NFL and 2 channels. You got the CBS, you got Fox. That's all you got all day. If the NFL was battling against college football, the NBA, NHL, Major League Baseball, rugby, and TV streaming series at the same Peacemaker premiering at the same time, the ratings would be so low and people wouldn't be focusing. But I think they've mastered a way to isolate everything to watch their game at that time. And I think we got to kind of do that with everything. It's just too much at one time. Yeah, I love to get all my stuff on one channel, one app. But I don't need 90 games on at one time. Like, it doesn't have to be Red Zone 24/7 on TV. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Red Zone just don't stop. It's something. We don't need that type of consumption of sports to enjoy. We're not enjoying nothing. We don't watch anything. We just kind of watch highlights at this point. And I think that's too much.
617-779-0985. It's going to be very interesting. I'm probably going to do the premium or whatever that is.
Oh, you're going to go, you top shelf, this guy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they got wrestling on it now, too.
Oh, yeah. I
next year.
mean, yeah. But I'm only doing that if that means I can get rid of other apps. And
Well, what you could do, I signed into it the other day, and it said, it literally told me, you have ESPN with YouTube TV, and it just linked it together.
Oh, Lord.
It instantly just did it. And it said, and once you go on your subscriptions, it says my Disney Plus and YouTube pop up right on the app itself and says I'm already signed in.
Jeez.
Yeah. Like instantly, I did it that day, and it was like, you have YouTube TV, just sign in with that. And then the QR code popped up. I flashed my phone, bing, and it turned it right on. I was watching the game.
Oh, my God. Times are changing. They're really changing. We got to take a...
Stay tuned for more from Lee. taking your calls, giving hot takes. Leroy Irvin and Cerrone battle on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
We should do it more often. I know I struggle with promoting anything I do. It's just weird. You can follow me on Twitter X, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, even TikTok. Boston L. Irvin, Irvin. Cerrone, you're laughing, but my Superman review on TikTok went bananas. I'm just saying.
For real, let me hold something right quick. I know they pay pretty good over there.
I didn't say I got paid for it.
I know they do pretty good over there.
I got to do my research and get up on how to monetize that stuff. But Cerrone, where can people find you?
Twitter. Cerrone, what is my Twitter? I think Cerrone_battle, I believe. I can't remember pretty well. That's it. No, I'm not on that Blue Sky. I'm not in the sky. I'm not on TikTok either. You can follow me on Instagram as well. I wouldn't say Facebook, but that's what my family is. No.
Right.
No, don't go there. You go on my DMs like that baseball player. There's going to be consequences and repercussions.
Yeah.
I'm just going to let you know.
Big time. We got 2 minutes. Let's do the players call.
Y'all want to hear my player call? I think, do you want to hear the player call?
All right, so this is the time when we take time to show someone in sports or in our everyday lives some love for just being.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Kowloon. Happy birthday to you. This is a longtime patron and favorite, John Cena, the other John Cena, because the staff at Kowloon always takes care of my dad, the John Cena. I wanted to take a second to recognize the establishment of a 75-year run in the service industry. This is unthought of. This is unheard of. And it's only possible because of the Kowloon family. When I say family, certainly I'm talking about the Wongs, but I'm talking about the servers, the cooks, the security, the people showing you to your table, everyone involved with the operation of one of the greatest institutions, I can say that, in Boston history. Take that, Red Sox. I kid. But in all seriousness, I really want to say happy 75th anniversary. You brought in so much happiness to so many folks over the years, present company included. I look forward to seeing you soon. Happy birthday.
Beautiful. The only problem, Cerrone, with that video is when I found it, I couldn't see him on it.
He don't get that. He don't get that.
Dang, he don't get it.
Can't see me.
Yes. Anyways, Cerrone, who you got?
Unbelievable. Come on, y'all. You're too old for this. Shout out to the organization that taught me everything about football when I didn't know a thing about it and got me into playing sports. And that's to the Boston Raiders organization, who celebrates 50 years next weekend. This will be 50 years that the Raiders have been a Pop Warner team in the city. It's their Black and Silver weekend. They have a Raider alumni reception on Friday, alumni meet and greet, and then the season opener for their 50th season at Harry Wilson Field. Shout out to the Raiders family. And most importantly, I know we talked about this before when we had the Pop Warner teams in, the amount of kids that they saved from the streets is countless. 50 years of getting kids from 10 and under all the way up to, I played on a youth team. We was in high school and we played against JV high school teams, a Pop Warner team that played against high schools, and we dominated. Oh, did we dominate? Shout out to Tape Academy for taking that L, all you guys. But anyway, we dominated back then, but they got all of us in the sports and where we needed to be at the time, coming to this is mid-90s. And really appreciate the Raiders, Black and Silver. Till I die, Raider proud. Shout out to the Raiders organization and to all the alumni and all the ex-players. And some really good balls that came out of there. And shout out to the Wilson family for everything they've done over the last 50 years.
Yes, sir. George, real quick, who you got?
All right, to close out the show, not so much a local legend, but more of a national legend. Somebody who would have been turning 47 today. You know, I'm on this day kind of a person historically. So happy birthday, shout out on this day, Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bean Bryant.
Mr. Black Mamba himself, you did break my heart in 2010. We held you down for those 3+ quarters there in that final game, and then you showed up, knight in shining armor, cape and all that, Superman. But God bless you, God rest your soul, you and Gianna. he's still a legend, still over LeBron in my book. So shout out to Kobe.
There we go. All right, that's it for the show. Thank you guys for listening. Hopefully,